Hello and welcome guys. This is the first video in a series of how to survive your first nights in 7 days to die. The series will be split up into a video for each day. Please bear in mind I've got Clockwork Rhino helping me out, so if you do play solo it will be considerably harder as you won't have the aid of another player. So let's jump in. Here's what we'll cover in this video. Controls, HUD Overview, Basic Quest, Basic Survival, Surviving the Night. You can see a time code for each of these chapters. Feel free to skip along in order to view any of them. Let's start on controls. From the main menu, select Options and then Controls. Here you can rebind any of your keys for the game ahead. There are quite a few obvious ones if you played games in the past. Mouse sensitivity is for in-game character looking, interface sensitivity is for moving your cursor in menus. Invert mouse, if you are one of those people that prefers up means down and down means up. Allow controller, if you are masochistic and enjoy the game even harder. Under player movement we have a few actions. Forward, back, left and right are all pretty obvious. Primary is used for shooting and attacking mostly. Secondary will be ADS, upgrading blocks and other features. Run is a sprint button, jump is obvious. Crouch and toggle crouch. Personally I never press C in game, I always toggle my crouch. Scope zoom should be fine unless you prefer to have it on your side mouse buttons, your choice. Drop tool belt item is used to drop the item you currently have selected on your tool belt. And the last point to talk about is take all. That means when looting any container including dead zombies, you can press this button to take everything. Onto the tool belt. The only change to make here is if your default WASD keys are different. For example, some people like to use RDFG for more access on the left side of their hand. Otherwise, if you use a controller, set the next and previous to something useful. Menu is fine and doesn't need rebinding, and the last part is dialogue. I like to have these keys mostly bunched together. These are the keys that you will use to access the in-game menus. If you're playing multiplayer as well, I suggest looking at the chat and push to talk binds. That's the controls out of the way. Let's move on to the HUD overview. So once you're in game, it's time to bring up the inventory and crafting system. Press tab by default to open this. Here on the left we have all our recipes, and at the top a filter by types such as basics, ammo and science. You can also search for a specific item using the search box, such as the crossbow, and we can see it right here alongside a few other items with the words in their name. Or with the wood frame with many other options. If we click on any of these items, it will show us the materials required to craft it. Here we need wood, we need 2 in total and currently have 0. If we had the 2 required, we could click craft and create a wood frame. It is also possible to favourite certain items by clicking this option, and that will place it in your favourites menu, as the icon here shows, which you can access by clicking the star right here. Clicking the option again will remove it from your favourites. Here we can see our backpack space. This will house all the items and tools you pick up during your travels. Just to the left is the queue. This has all the items you're crafting or scrapping, etc. To give you an example, I will scrap the first aid bandage, and you can see it appears down here briefly before giving me a cloth fragment. With any items you can click recipes to see what items they could be used for in crafting. These options here also have hotkeys, so with this empty can I can press S to scrap it as well. And with iron I can press A to view the recipes it is used in. This is the tool belt. You can access the items using the default keys of 1 through 8. On the far left we can see our stamina in blue and our health in red. And in the top right of our backpack we can see our current currency, which is the Duke's Casino tokens. They are used at the trader when you can find them. Moving on to the character screen, here we can see our resistance to certain types of damage. The list is blunt, sharp, fire, radiation, electric, and finally our insulation and wetness. These are various clothing slots we can equip items into for extra buffs on those damage types. On the right we can see our character level, wellness, which affects our total stamina and health. This can go up depending on how healthy you are, and down depending on how sick or dead you are. Our food and water levels, these will pop up in the notification area when they get to key levels and are almost empty. Our temperature, this is key as you don't want to get too hot and overheat, nor do you want to get too cold and freeze. Then we have our zombie kills, player kills, deaths, the distance you've travelled, total items crafted, and finally the longest time you've gone without dying. Onto the map. So you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Up here we can click this button to center the view on our character. We could center on our sleeping bag if we had one placed. Then we have the cursor position, which tells you the coordinates of where the mouse is currently pointing. And lastly, this button removes the quick waypoint. Now to place a quick waypoint, simply right click on the map and select quick waypoint. It will then appear on your compass at the top of the screen. But to remove it, you cannot right click it again and select quick waypoint. This will recreate the waypoint. You must click the button up here. There's another type of waypoint here, and you can select an icon to go with it and simply name it, and it will appear on your map. And no one else can see this point yet, so if you are playing with friends, you will need to share it. Start by selecting the waypoint and clicking this icon. It will allow you to share it with allies only, or everyone. There, we can see our allies will be able to see this waypoint. It will appear for them here, and they will need to select it and click the button to save it. You can also view it on the map or remove it. Up the top we can track a waypoint and remove tracking, show it on the map and also remove it. The last points, we have the day and time as shown below the compass, the temperature, wind speed and our current elevation in relation to the sea. Moving on to skills. Now there are a lot of skills in 7 Days to Die. I won't cover them in this video, but might do a separate one explaining them all. As a quick tip, if a skill has this icon, the medal, then it cannot be learned by any means other than spending skill points. But if a skill has the graduate icon, then you can acquire levels in this skill by using the appropriate tool or weapons, etc. For example, archery can be improved by using the bow or crossbow, blunt weapons by using a wooden club or spiked club, handguns by shooting players, zombies and wildlife using the M9 or 44 Magnum. Up here we can see our current available skill points. You can also look at the levels ahead to see what benefits they'll bring alongside their cost in skill points. So here, increasing mining tools from 34 to 35 will cost 34 skill points and gives a total of plus 59% block damage, so we can break apart various blocks faster. Bear in mind that this is a skill you can learn from using a stone axe or iron pickaxe instead of spending skill points. Lastly, we also have another filter for various types here like weapons, medicine and painting. In our quest tab we can see our quests, current and past. If possible you can show it on the map, toggle it active or not. It will show up on the right here if it's active. The current objectives are displayed here as well, and just below are the rewards for finishing the quest. Lastly, if you no longer wish to pursue the quest, you can remove it. The journal is a good place for reading up on things if you're unsure on anything. And finally, we have the player list or scoreboard. Here you can see each player's various stats as listed. Their Steam ID, zombie kills, player kills, deaths, current level, total score, ping, which for me is 0 as I'm hosting a local game, their status to you, the ally tab which allows you to befriend people and also cut ties with them, voice chat icon, view them on the map if possible, track them if you're friends, and finally the current distance between you both. Just before we finish up this part of the tutorial, I wanted to mention the notification area in which you receive status updates. Taking a drink here, we can see in the bottom left that my drink status is now up to 100%, and have an icon there as well, which I know is extinguish. This means that I cannot be set alight while this is in effect, lasting approximately 10 seconds. If you do set yourself alight, it's a good way to put it out. The resource notification area is just over to the right, so we can see we're picking up +2 plant fibers every time we break a block of grass.
Oh, I found it.
Cool. I was about to say I'm now in game. Okay, so we start off with basic quest. So we could read through this, but we've done that so many times I'm sick to death of it. So to start with, we'll follow and complete the basic quest. We can see our progress up here. These are our current objectives. The first one is complete, but I know plant fibers are useful, so I'm still farming them. The next objective is to craft a bedroll. To do this, open your inventory and you should already be set on the Basics tab. Click on Bedroll, then click on Craft to begin that process. This tab has all the items needed for the basic survival quest. The bedroll has now crafted, so let's finish the final point and place it down. Drag the bedroll into your tool belt so you have access to it, select it and right click to place the bedroll. And I will suggest heavily to pick the bloody thing back up or you will spawn back there where you initially place it and stuff. Cool. Crafting a stone axe, like I said, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. Where are you up to at the moment, dude?
Crafting stone axe.
Good man. Now that we've got a stone axe, stick that in here instead. We can go and hack down some trees. Okay, so now that we're coming to the end of this tree, One more hit. Incoming! Plenty of plant fibers. We've actually got exactly twice as many as we need, so let's go ahead and build those. Make these plant fiber stuff. And that should be under clothing. So we need the pants. Don't just craft all of these because you don't need them all. Cool. And then it will actually tell you to wear them as well, so it's just much easier to go ahead and wear them anyway. Ironically, we just look at this feels like bit here as well. Feels like this, as long as that's not going up too fast. Otherwise, you are going to feel like you're cooking, and you will start having issues with dehydration, and that's not good for survival. There we go. So just put it straight on, and we instantly complete the fourth part.
Paranoid.
Aha! Right, so any bird nests we find on the floor, grab those. Hopefully they've got feathers in them, but that one didn't. I had eggs. We can search for potentially useful items is what we're looking for. Even just trash can have good stuff.
Yeah, I've got some casino tokens and some iron already.
So we're going to go to weapons, and we can craft a wooden club. Takes a little bit of wood, which we don't need to worry about because we've got loads of that. And now we have a wooden club, which I'm actually going to put in there. Now I want us to create a bow.
Oh, an arrow, boy.
There's another bird's nest. Fingers crossed. Yay, we've got some. So we can now craft some arrows. I'm just going to make as many as I can. I'm only hindered now by the small stones that I have. That's fine. We'll make the arrows. There we go. We now have a ranged weapon. Well, good. So we're looking to start a base now, which obviously we won't, but we will go through with this just so that it's out of the way. So let's make this wooden frame. Once 3 of them. Get those crafting. Done. And then we can place. Wants you to upgrade them. So you just hold right mouse button using your stone axe. Done. There you go. Now we can just leave those there. And we'll probably never come back to them or see them again, to be honest. Let's do the campfire. Let's get that out of the way so we can do that. And that's done. Put it down. Bonk. So now you could actually light that with some fuel, but we'll get into that again. We'll get into that another time. And make certain things as well. But forwards, my comrades. We have now finished the first basic quest. We don't need to worry too much about. Ooh. Now we've got to locate the trader, which is over there. We will do that. That's quite a long distance. I can see Hal's over there as well. Holy hell. Another tip here is to pick up goldenrod flowers, as you can create goldenrod tea, which is basically increasing the benefits that bottled water gives you, including curing yourself of dysentery. So anyway, on the understanding of survival, there's food and water which you'll need to pick up. You can check these in the character menu, or wait until you get a notification in the bottom left that you're getting low on either. There is also the infection status, which starts at 1, phases through stage 2 and 3, eventually killing you at the end of the 3rd stage. It will give you increasingly negative effects and can be cured with antibiotics and other medicinal items. Finally, we have our weapons. As your skills increase in crafting, you'll be able to craft better items and weapons to defend yourself. For the first day, these basic weapons are more than enough, as long as you can keep your arrow count up, so search out birds' nests for feathers, and keep your wood/stone count up as well. The last point is finding a base for the first night. You don't want to be outside on the first night, as you're woefully unprepared to take on the infected. This is as simple as finding any structure that can hold them back and protect you. As Rhino found here, we have a church that we can hold out in for the rest of the night. Creepy looking place. You can hear movement. Now we know for a fact that is Clockwork Rhino. He should be up here. Already checked stuff. Here we go. And there he is. So, shut the door.
Keep them zombies out.
Lock it as well. And that should hopefully give us a nice little spot here to hold down. Thank God we managed to make it. 9:30 at night.
Bit of charred meat in the fire for you as well. I killed a boar earlier.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And this is more or less a waiting game now. So we're actually going to check out the skills that we've got, because we have got where are we? We've got 11 skill points to be able to spend. Mine tends to go on things like this. Having mine into -69er because it gives the ability to mine at a better rate. Block damage plus 20%. Stamina goes down by 20. Is reduced by 20%. And the harvest count doesn't change in this one. But it requires mining tools. Right, the next one, we're pretty much getting ready to head back out for our second day.
Start looting this town up.
That ends day 1. I really hope this video has helped you understand more about the world of 7 Days to Die. In part 2, we'll cover some more advanced mechanics, and then look into progressing further into sustaining yourself in the post-apocalyptic world. Please drop a like on the video if it helped, and consider subscribing so you know when the next survival video comes out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.